Hi everyone, this is Terry from terryscraftroom.com. Welcome back. I'm so glad you could join me today. Today we're going to use one of the free celebration stamp sets called Corner Bouquet, and here it is. And most people are making this into a corner stamp set or a corner card, which I have done, and I'll link below my other card that I did this with and just made it into a lower corner thing. But I wanted to do the whole card with it. So I'm going to show you this card today, and we're going to use this stamp and this stamp for it because this is a stand-up easel card. Isn't that adorable? I just love it. Now this card, both my mother-in-law and father-in-law are in assisted living facilities, and so I've been trying during this pandemic to send them cards frequently just because they can't have visitors. So both of these cards are going to go to them. So let's get started. We're also going to feature our new blending brushes. They come in a pack like this, a pack of 3, and they are in the Spring Mini catalog on page 70. They can be overlooked, so take a look at this because on page 70 they're $12 and they do come in a pack of 3. This one I used yesterday on this card, and so it was all inked up with the Gorgeous Grape, and I just rinsed it under water and it rinsed clean really nicely. So they clean up nicely and they blend really well. So what do we need for this card? We need, our card base is going to be 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to score this with you because it's a little bit different. It's not just scored once. So we're going to score it once at 4 1/4, and then we're going to move it to 2 1/8 and score it there also. Okay, so it's a fun fold card, but it's a pretty easy fun fold card. We're going to fold it here, and then we're going to fold it like this again in the same direction so that it will sit like this. Okay, so let's set our base aside for a second. And we need a piece of white cardstock that is 5 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to get my embossing buddy out because the way we're going to make those white flowers is we are going to stamp them in Versamark and then emboss them. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this, make sure the center line is about the center of our cardstock, and stamp. Okay, and then re-ink, and then we're going to change the direction, and you can't see it but I can. Right here is our center line where our flowers, and you want to try and make the flowers match right up to each other. And there we go. Now we need some clear embossing powder. Sure it covers everything. Now I think you can see the flower. See that? There you go, you can see that. Tap this off one last time. And then we're going to take our heat gun and emboss it. I don't know if you can, there you go, you can see the shiny embossing on there now. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our blending. Let me get a piece of scrap paper here and my blending brush. And I'm going to start out with Balmy Blue. So, unlike sponges, with this brush, you don't necessarily need to start off the paper because it's not going to give you that spongy texture like a sponge is. It's going to give you, this brush is going to give you a much smoother texture. And so I'm going to take my colors from light to dark. So my next color is Highland Heather. And I'm just making sure that there's no visible ink on my brush. And now I'm brushing on the Highland Heather. And then I'm going to finish it off with Gorgeous Grape. And I want my darkest to be around the edges, so I'm going to try and blend it down from darkest to lightest. Just like that. Okay. So like I said, this is how dark and dirty this brush was yesterday. So, and it just cleaned up like a dream. Now the last thing I'm going to do is, you notice I've got color on my white embossing, so I'm going to take a tissue and I'm just going to wipe that off, and that's going to bring all that color off of that embossing and just really make that embossing pop. Just like that. Okay. Now we've got a couple more pieces of cardstock here. We've got a piece of Balmy Blue that is 5.5 by 4 1/4, because that's going to be our base for our card front. Then I've got a piece of Gorgeous Grape that is 5 1/4 by 4, and then this is going to sit on top of that, just like this. So let's put those together. Okay, just like that. Now this is going to sit right on this front part of the easel, so we only want to put adhesive up to the score line. I'm just going to lay this down just like that. Okay. So I've got that. Now I'm going to put this on the inside, and it's the same size as this Gorgeous Grape piece right here. Just like that. Now we need a kickstand right here so it'll stay up. And so what I've done is we're going to, this little hello is out of the Good Morning Magnolia set right here, and we are going to cut it out with this from the Painted Labels dies. This Painted Labels dies comes with a couple of really nice label punch outs, so this one's the one we're going to use. It works really well there. So we're going to stamp the hello in Gorgeous Grape, just like that. And then I'm going to go cut it out, and I'll be right back. And then just to dress it up just a hair, I'm going to take my Highland Heather ink and I'm going to take the little leaves here from the Corner Bouquet set, and I'm going to stamp off and then stamp, stamp off, and then stamp. And then this we need to dimension because it has to be dimensioned up so you can have a kickstand. If it was laying flat, it wouldn't do anything to hold the top easel part up. So I think the easel should be about there, so I'm going to stick the hello right about there. And there we go. Now one last thing, I have this little bit of ribbon that I'm going to tie a bow with. Okay. And I have a lot of clients who have trouble tying bows, and really it's just a matter of practice and playing around with the bow a little bit until you get it to your liking. Okay, so we just want to put a little glue dot on the bow and then put the bow down right here, and then a little bit of bling just to finish it off. And there we have it. Just a little hello card, an easel stand-up card. I hope you've enjoyed this project today. If you have, please hit the like button below, and please subscribe to my channel so that I can grow my family. I'll have a link to this right over, directly over to my blog, onto my blog, where I'll have all the instructions on how to make this card. If you're over there, please sign up for my newsletter. You'll get exclusive projects coming straight to your email inbox every week. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.